Around the Causeway Coast with Dennis McNeil. Have you got a minute?
It's Dennis McNeil for Causeway Coast Community. This week's Have You Got a Minute feature sees me sitting outside one of the biggest supermarket chain stores in the country. We're outside Asda in Coleraine, and alongside me now I'm delighted to say Sheila Palmer. Sheila, have you got a minute?
I've always got a minute for you, Dennis.
Now, we're outside Asda because this was your place of work for a number of years. You're now retired. We'll come to the retirement in a wee moment. Tell me about your role, first of all, in Asda.
Well, I was the community champion in Asda here in Coleraine for 7 years. I worked for the company for 12, but that role was 7 years. And it helped me get out and about in the community, meet people, fundraise for them, help them to get small clubs up and running, just different things, just out meeting people and putting a wee bit back into the community in the area.
And presumably you would say you've met too many people, too many groups. And I'm not saying that you forget them, you don't forget them, but maybe too many to try to single somebody out.
Oh yes, I mean I've met some really interesting people, from young kids right up to the more mature groups. We've had a lot of fun. There's been the Jolly Mixtures in Ballysally, there's been the Young at Heart out in Ballintoy. Now Young at Heart sounds like a young group, but in actual fact they're more mature and they meet every week out there. And I was invited out there one time through our Green Token scheme in the store. I had a cheque to present to them, and I went out and had a full-blown lunch and everything. They just greeted me just marvellously.
So what sort of satisfaction, summing it up, would you say you got in your time here in Asda?
Oh gosh, the satisfaction. It was just great getting up and coming out to work every day, because every day was different, and I just enjoyed every single moment of it. The people I met, the things I did, the money raised, just the whole thing was just marvellous. And
you were telling me, Sheila, you still sometimes maybe in the local paper see a photograph and you think, last year I was at that, or the year before we did such and such.
Oh yes, I mean I've been noticing that lately. The Pirates Off Portrush is coming up, so I was involved in that. I was involved in the Truck Festival last year, helping them fundraise with the charity that they always support. And then there was other small things like just small knitting groups inviting me round for a coffee. And then I was maybe helping them plan a coffee morning to raise funds for that group, and just different things like that.
So it's fair to say you were a big part, or Asda and yourself were big parts of many local groups?
Yes, it's a fabulous role, and there is only one champion, there's one champion in every store, and that is the role that they play. There's 17 here in Northern Ireland, and sometimes we even worked as a team, and the 17 of us got together for maybe one big event and helped them run it, fundraise for a specific charity and things like that.
So you'd have been sad, say, 2 months ago when that retirement date came around?
It was a very, very, very big decision for me to make. I pondered on it for months as to when I was actually going to retire, because how can you retire from a job that was so much fun? I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. It was very hard for me. So I thought, well, the best thing to do would be to retire in the spring of the year when the late nights is coming in, that maybe I could get out and about and just do it that way. And retire while I had my health rather than because of my health.
And have you, other than maybe out walking and enjoying the fantastic weather we've had recently, is there anything else that you've lined up or anything you're planning to do or get into?
Not quite yet. I've stepped back from the fundraising or getting involved in groups and that, because, as I say, lots of them want me to come and help them fundraise.
Yes.
Because I've been involved with them, like chest, heart and stroke, the hospice, just different things like that there. I'm just stepping back, maybe till the end of the summer, and then I'll get involved in a group of some sort. I'm not sure yet.
Good for you. And finally, what sort of advice or what sort of retirement tips might you have? And there'll be people watching this in Causeway Coast Community. They're maybe only a couple of years away from retirement. Some other poor souls have another 20 years to do. What looking ahead, looking forward, what advice would you have?
Well, life is far too short, and if you can afford to retire, and just go out there and enjoy and do it, and then get out and about and meet people and enjoy. I have a wee dog, and I walk, and everybody stops to talk to me because I've got a dog. They never would maybe have spoke to me before. I'm not a gardener or anything like that there, so I just go out and about and now that the weather is good, as you say, just enjoy it. And I do meet up with people that have known me through my work, and I chat and I go to coffee mornings and just think out there, just do it.
Very good. Almost take one day at a time.
One day at a time, yes, definitely.
That's your cue to sing.
One day at a time.
Sweet Sheila. Sheila Palmer, enjoy your retirement. Thanks for chatting to us in Causeway Coast Community. Outside a very sunny Asda with the very happily retired Sheila Palmer, I'm Dennis McNeil for Causeway Coast Community.